Hello students, welcome to the video class for the subject Control System Engineering. This is for 6th semester Diploma Electrical Engineering students. So today we will study about transfer function. So after studying this portion, we can know about the cause and effect relationship between input and output of a system, and by knowing we can know the transfer function of a system mathematically. We can define the transfer function in mathematically. Then uh, then mainly we have to explore the transfer function. Okay, so already we discussed in the class that the transfer function is defined as the ratio of Laplace transform of output response to the Laplace transform of input. Input means excitation, and assuming all initial condition to be 0. So this is the main definition, that is the Laplace transform is the transfer function is the ratio of Laplace transform of output response to the Laplace transform of input response, assuming all initial condition to be 0. So this is given here, the block diagram. Here the system is in time domain and here the system is in Laplace domain. So if GS is the transfer function, then the transfer function can be written mathematically: Laplace transform of output by Laplace transform of input at all initial conditions are 0. And this is here C, R of t, its Laplace transform is R of s. C of t, Laplace transform is C of s. And G of t, this is the system gain, or also it is a transfer function, its Laplace transform is G of s. So G of s is equal to Cs by Rs at all initial conditions are 0. So this is a small problem. This is an electrical circuit. Here we determine the transfer function. So this is Vit, this is V0t, this is R and C. So before we determine the transfer function of this electrical network, we assume that It be the current in the circuit. Okay, It is the current. This is the current It is the current. Okay, so see, if we apply KVL equation in these two loops. So KVL equation for the first loop is Vit is equal to R into It plus 1 by C integration It dt. Okay, so this is the KVL equation for loop 1, and then KVL equation for loop 2 is V0t is equal to 1 by C integration It dt. So we have to take the Laplace transform of the above two expression. So Vit is Vis is equal to Rit is the R into Is plus 1 by Sc into Is. This is the Laplace transform of 1 by C integration It dt, and Laplace transform of the second equation, that is the second loop equation, that is V0s is equal to 1 by Sc into Is. So from this we found out Is expression, that is Sc into V0s. So we have to apply this Is here. See how? So from this expression Vis is equal to R, we take Is common, so R plus 1 by Sc into Is. This is written here. So you have to apply this Is value from this expression. So this is, we have to algebraically solve this. This is SCR plus 1 by Sc, and Is is the Sc into V0s. So SC cancel out each other, and then SCR plus 1 into V0s. So our transfer function V0s by Vis is equal to 1 by 1 plus SCR. So here the transfer function Gs is equal to V0 by Vs is equal to 1 by 1 plus SCR, and the electrical system which is given above can be represented like this: Vis, this is V0s, and this is the Gs, that is 1 by 1 plus SCR. The next one is the impulse response and transfer function. Okay, so the impulse response we already discussed in previous section. What is this? That the Laplace transform of impulse response, that is delta t, is unity. Already we discussed in the previous classes. So see, This is the transfer function gs is equal to cs by rs. So we can write cs is equal to gs into rs. So here is the response cs can be found in terms of transfer function. This is the transfer function gs. So here the response cs is found in terms of transfer function. So here gs and rs are the Laplace transform of gt and rt respectively. So therefore the response of any system, the response of any input r of t can be found out from this expression, because here r of s is the Laplace of r of t and cs is the response. So here we can find out response of any input. Okay, so see, let's take the impulse input. Okay, so here r of t is equal to delta t. This r of t is the input r of t is equal to delta t is the impulse input. Okay, so r of t is equal to delta t, so its Laplace is r of s is equal to its Laplace is 1. Okay, so now we have to put this rs value here. So cs is equal to gs into 1, that is cs is equal to gs, and ct is equal to inverse Laplace of gs, that is gt. So from this expression we found that for an impulse input to the system, the impulse response cs is equal to transfer function gs of the system. Okay, so for linear time invariant system, the transfer function of this system is the Laplace transform of impulse response, assuming all initial conditions to be 0. Okay, so these are the problems given here. Just go through this problem, you can easily solve this problem. This is one problem here. Transfer function is determined. Okay, where its response is given. This is the response, so its Laplace is 1 by s plus 3. So the transfer function gs is equal to 1 by s plus 3. Simple. So and the next problem, transfer function is given and input is given. This is g of t, input means r of t. So g of s, we can found g of s, we can found r of s, and easily we can found response, that is c of s is equal to gs into rs. So this is the cs expression is this one. So if we take inverse Laplace transform, then we can found ct is equal to this much. Okay, so one note point is cs is equal to gs into rs, but ct is not equal to gt into rt. Okay, so the next one is the properties of transfer function. So the properties of transfer function are given below. What? The ratio of Laplace transform of output to input with all initial conditions to be 0 is known as transfer function of the system. This is one property. The transfer function of a system is Laplace transform of its impulse response under assumptions of 0 initial condition. Okay. Then the next property is replacing s variable with linear operation d, that is equivalent to d by dt in transfer function of a system. The differential equation of the system can be obtained. Okay, so the transfer function of a system does not depend on input to the system, and the system poles and zeros can be determined from its transfer function, and stability can also be system poles and zero, and stability can also be found from characteristics equation. And the transfer function cannot be defined for non-linear system. Okay, it can be defined only for linear system. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of transfer function. So what are the advantages? See, transfer function is mathematical model and gives the gain of the system. Since Laplace transform is used, the terms are simple algebraic and differential terms are not present. If transfer function of a system is known, the response of the system to any input can be determined very easily. Poles and zeros of a system can be determined. Okay, poles and zeros can be determined from the knowledge of transfer function of the system. Then both poles have vital role in the system response. About these poles and zeros we will study in a separate chapter later. And the transfer function helps in the study of stability analysis. So these are the advantages. Then what are the disadvantages? See, the disadvantages is the transfer function can be defined only for linear system. Okay, and initial condition lose their importance since transfer function does not taken into account the initial condition, and no inference can be drawn about the physical structure of a system from its transfer function. So these are all the disadvantageous points. Okay, so poles and zeros of a transfer function. What is this poles and pole and zero? See, transfer function gs is equal to cs by rs at all initial condition to be 0. Okay, and cs and rs are both polynomial in s. So if cs is equal to bm s to the power m plus bm minus s to the power m minus 1 up to b0 is this is first polynomial expression for cs, and polynomial expression for rs this is c. Here there is 1 a n into s to the power n plus m n minus 1 into s n minus s to the power n minus 1 up to a, this is 0. Okay, a0. So here gs is equal to cs by rs. Here also there is a n s to the power n plus a n minus 1 s to the power n minus 1 up to this is a0. Okay, so these are the cs expression and this is the rs expression. So from this we can found, if we found out the factorization of these polynomial expression, then this is converted into k into s minus b1, s minus b2, s minus b3 up to s minus bm. Okay, similarly this is s minus a1, s minus a2, s minus a3 up to s minus an, where k is the gain factor. Okay, so zeros of a transfer function are defined as the value of for which the magnitude of transfer function becomes 0. So the numerator, in the numerator all the value of s are the zeros. Okay, if the zeros of a transfer function are not repeated, they are known as simple zero, and if the zeros of a transfer function are repeated, they are termed as multiple zero. Okay, so similarly, what is poles? Poles of a transfer function are defined as the value of s for which magnitude of transfer function becomes infinity. So see, in the denominator part here, all the value of s are the actually poles, because by putting this value of s here, the magnitude of the transfer function becomes infinity. Okay, so poles of a transfer function are, if the poles of a transfer function are not repeated, then it is known as simple poles, and if repeated, then they are known as multiple poles. Now representation of poles and zero on the s plane. So see, normally s plane have two axis, that is one sigma axis, another one is j omega axis. Sigma axis is the real axis, j omega axis is the imaginary axis. So the value of sigma are plotted along the real axis and the j omega are plotted along the imaginary axis. So simple pole and zero are represented by cross and circle, okay, respectively. Similarly, repeated pole and zero are represented by also cross and zero, but slightly different form. So let's take one example. See this example. So here gs transfer function is given like this. Okay, so s plus b1 s plus b2 square divided by s plus a1 s plus a2 cube. So k is the gain function, and it is assumed that 0 less than a2 less than a1 less than b1 less than b2. These are the just one assuming values. That means we assume that the magnitude of factors like this. Okay, so how we represent pole 0 in s plane? See, here we draw the s plane. This is the sigma real axis, this is j omega imaginary axis. So see, b2 is an integer which is which has greater value. So here b2 gives you a value of 0. So see, here b2 is drawn, but b2 is represented by a circle, and also inside this circle there is a dot. So this represents multiple zeros. because b2 here square is there, that means there is 2 minus b2, means there is two values of minus b2, two zeros are there at minus b2 point, so this is the multiple 0. And then b1, so b1 is less than b2, so b1 is here drawn here, put here, so this is represented by simple 0. Similarly then a1 is simple pole, so minus a1 is here and it is represented by a cross symbol. Then a2 to the power 3, that means at point a2 there is multiple poles, so it is represented like this, multiple poles. So this is how we can represent poles and zeros in S-plane. Okay, and what is this characteristics equation? See, characteristics equation means if we consider the denominator polynomial of transfer function, if we take the denominator polynomial of transfer function and we have to equate this to 0, then this is represented as characteristics equation. So here our characteristics equation is like this: a to the an s n plus a n minus 1 s to the power n minus 1 a n minus 2 s n minus 2 plus up to a 0 is equal to 0. So this is our characteristics equation for this transfer function. Okay, so for this transfer function, the denominator, when denominator is equal to 0, this expression gives us a characteristics equation. So how we find out characteristics equation, this we will study in the later part, and this is one example where we show poles and zeros of this transfer function. So this is a task for you, just go through this example and find out by yourself where is the pole and zero in S-plane. Okay, thank you.